This is Chicago's very own WGN Evening News at 5.
New polls shedding some light on how Mayor-elect Brandon Johnson won over Chicago voters on the issue of crime and public safety.
Interesting. And WGN political reporter Tamon Bradley is joining us with a look at that.
Ray and Jackie, good evening. Many pundits frame the mayoral runoff as a choice between a candidate promising to bolster law enforcement versus someone who in the past supported defunding the police. But Chicago voters look deeper.
In a city plagued by fears of crime, the progressive triumphed over the tough-on-crime candidate. Brandon Johnson's win over Paul Vallas defied conventional wisdom, but a closer examination of voters' views offers clues about the upset election. A survey conducted by GQR and Vera Action on the eve of the election found that Chicagoans overwhelmingly support policies to address the root causes of crime. 6 in 10 voters choose prevention, compared to 4 in 10 who back a tough-on-crime strategy. Ed Yanka is ACLU of Illinois' communications chief.
Voters have a very nuanced perception about public safety and about what gets us to public safety in every community across a city as complex as Chicago.
During the campaign, Vallas vowed to increase the number of police, while Johnson promoted a platform to make CPD more efficient. Asked the most effective solution to crime, about a third of voters chose increased mental health drug treatment, compared to 18% who favor hiring more police.
It was never a binary choice of in the way that it was sometimes portrayed, right? I think there was a kind of an easy sort of one's tough on crime, one's not. At the end of the day, people kind of pierce through the kind of the easy labels and actually look at, you know, what kinds of policies are going to get us to enhance public safety.
The poll also shows voters vary in their opinion of what's driving crime. 39% said too many guns, 29% said lack of access to mental health, and 32% said release on bail for violent offenses.
It turns out that you can spend a lot of money sort of trying to paint this picture of black and white, but people still see gray. And they see that, I would argue at least, largely because these are the communities they're living in. They know what the issues are in their communities, and they know that they aren't necessarily solved by just more policing, that there are other underlying needs that just have to be met.
People who favor this more nuanced approach to public safety have placed their bets on Mayor-elect Brandon Johnson. Jackie and Ray.
A lot of high hopes as he gets sworn in and then takes over the job.
It's a tough job.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Well, the company responsible for Chicago Police Department's gunshot detection technology is changing its name. The ShotSpotter company is now called Sound Thinking. The company is rolling out new tools, an investigation management system, and a law enforcement search engine to evolve with the changing nature of the public safety landscape. Mayor Lightfoot's administration has renewed the city's contract with the ShotSpotter till next year. Mayor-elect Johnson has been an outspoken critic of the technology.